Hello, I'm Hugh Lunn. Welcome to the Fruit Park YouTube channel.
Isn't it wonderful to see a restoration of this wonderful old tennis centre which holds so many memories for us?
Morning again, ladies and gentlemen. We're down on the fabulous Gold Coast, which is Masters, and the topic of this particular YouTube is the Stefan Racket. And you can see here that this pull-up banner, which is the first time we would actually been seeing this particular banner, Aces for Brisbane International, Rod Laver, Footbridge, and Fruit Park, Milton. And the objective of all these namings of Ken Fletcher Park and Roy Emerson Tennis Centre, Daphne Fancutt Amphitheatre, and hopefully the Wendy Turnbull Green, is to lift the profile up for the Brisbane International. And Geoff, you've got some good stories to tell about Stefan and to do with the Gold Coast as it happens. So let's hear what you've got to say.
Well, Stefan, I first met at Trevor and Daphne Fancutt's tennis centre. Of course, Trevor was my tennis coach growing up, a well-known couple around Brisbane tennis circles, certainly. And I was living on the Gold Coast. Stefan also had a place on the Gold Coast, and we actually got to hit some tennis balls at Stefan's house on the Gold Coast. And we hit a lot of tennis balls, but we also sat down after tennis and always had a chat. And Stefan made it very clear that one of his great mentors, of course, was Sir Bob Mathers.
Yep.
And he took an awful lot of inspiration from Bob Mathers, very well-known identity around Queensland. And we often had lots of chats after tennis about business and all that Stefan had learnt from Bob Mathers. And a lot of those comments stay with me today about business. And he always said about working with your hands. If you work with your hands, it was difficult to make a career of yourself or success of yourself unless you were an elite athlete. So you had to sort of get into business. So we had lots of tennis hits, and he was, as you'd imagine, he's a competitor at everything he does, and we had lots of competitive issues on the tennis court. We had lots of wonderful chats off the tennis court as well, and of course he went on to be a great supporter of tennis, still is a supporter of tennis, and did lots of good things for the sport in the state of Queensland. So he's been well regarded in every sense of business and sport in this state.
And I think it's great that he's donating the racket back, because it'll just be like a lightning rod of tennis recognition, the same way that Rod Laver lending his name to the Footbridge at Tennyson will just be like a lightning rod of tennis recognition in that precinct. And Brisbane, I think, is incredibly lucky that under the watch of the Lord Mayor Graham Quirk at the moment, is that it's pulling those historical threads together and trying to weave a new narrative.
Well, that big racket of Stefan was really iconic in its day. I mean, it was a standout symbol of the sport, the big racket, and it was such an identifying edifice in Brisbane, out of Milton, and it's great that it's still around today and going to be used in a productive way.
The world's first big tennis racket.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was indeed. And with that, we'll say again, good morning.
Hi, my name's Ian McCauley, and this is my wife Judy, and we're proud to be part of the promotion for the history of Milton tennis courts.